Hi, my name is Mark McGrain. I'm the Assistant Council Commissioner for the Great Falls Council. I'd like to thank you for joining us tonight for our training on merit badge sign up for summer camps. This will apply directly to those of you attending Camp Gordon or Camp Scout Haven in the Great Falls Council. However, the same information we're covering will work for any camp that uses the Black Pug system. To start right off, we will be going to our Great Falls Council website.
As I said, this is for some people a new system, for some reoccurring one, and that's fine. We'll be covering all of it. Um, so, just a few kind of reminders before we get into this is in the council, no matter what camp you're going to be going to, a couple of things to be aware of. All of the camps, both Camp Gordon and Camp Scout Haven, are going with merit badge sign up starting on the 15th of next month. So, and that starts at 6 o'clock. So, right then and there is when that turns on. And this is pretty much a first come, first serve basis. Everybody can be on. Going through it does a very good job of managing the system. Can't get on any earlier than that. The other part of this, which is new for everybody, is depending on the camp that you're going to, you'll have to have at least half the payment made in order to sign up for merit badges. So if all you have right now is scouts with the deposits on them, they won't be able to sign up for merit badges. They'll have to have the actual rates in there. Now, the reason for this, because this is new for a lot of people, but the reason for that is um, committees looking at this made a kind of conversation and a discussion about this, about how we get some scouts that are there with just the minimum deposit and somebody who gets on really fast to do the merit badge sign up. They get classes, and some classes have maximum numbers. And from there, if they got on there, took up a space, and then they don't go to camp, it's occupied a space. And yet we have kids or our scouts who have made a financial commitment to come to camp, and they should be given the priority to go to camp and get the classes that they wanted. So that's why the requirement is in there for at least half down. That's a significant financial investment to come to camp. The other part is this system works off of, or the Black Bug system, which is what we use for registration. This system works off of individuals, not a unit. Yes, it's under a unit registration, but everybody is treated as an individual, which means that if one person is late on their registration fees, and registration fees, depending on the camp, are generally going up on May 15th at 11:59. Um, it doesn't put a late fee on the entire unit. It only puts it on the scout that didn't come. Same thing. If one scout out of all of yours doesn't have their half payment down, it doesn't impact anybody else. It only impacts that one scout. So kind of nice that everything treats people as individuals in this one and not having to deal with just a unit as a whole, even though everybody is in there. So there are a couple of ways to get into your registration. So one is when you did your registration and on some of the emails that we send out, it'll have a link directly into your registration. And you can click on that and it'll take you directly into your registration. It's not looking for a login. It doesn't really matter who's doing it. So it'll work that way. The other one is you could go to our council website. So this GFC Scouting .org, and right under here for account login, if you were to click on that, and if you had created an account, which I hope many of you have done, you'll be able to sign right in onto here. Now I have my password saved, so it comes in, it brings me up to it, and then I've got my name, the lookup, and over in here, event details, calendars. So the first thing I kind of want to do is make sure I'm selected on the unit for it. So my roster would be a personal roster. These are the units I'm associated with inside of the Black Pug system. So if I were to click on 84B and then take a look at their activity, again for B, and I can see the things that are going on here that have been being put in under ours. And you can see that there is two different camp registrations for this year. We have scouts going at 2 different weeks. So I can click on that and go right into the registration. So either by the email or by using this account login, can you get in there? Now, the other thing I will point out is parent portal. So if you're using Parent Portal, and that is something you as the registration contact would have had to enable, um, then when you did that and you gave the families their account logins and passwords and all this, again, on the main web page, Parent Portals where they go into it to access their scout, and they can add multiple scouts. So if mom's going, son, daughter, you can add multiple people. It's the first one that's added in, and then everybody else now gets merged into that account. If you, as the registration contact, the person who created the registration, if when you did this or go back and do it later on, you can give the unit, the parents, the ability to enter to do merit badge sign up themselves. By default, the system is designed so that they can go in and make payments anytime they want. It is designed so they can go and fill out the questions anytime they want. Um, you actually have to turn on the part about merit badge sign up. So if in your unit, they all go through the Scoutmaster, turn in the sheets, and you guys take care of it, great. If in your unit you say all of you are responsible to make sure your Scoutmaster approved it, and then you put it in, great. And if you do a little bit of both, great. It's entirely a unit option. We've just given you the ability to make the choice on which one you want to do. And we don't change those settings on top of you. So let's go take a look at a registration. So this is inside of a demo unit, so it's going to look a little bit weird. I went in, so you'll see, a few extra screens on here, but it's because I'm in a demo version of this unit or of this system. So this should be a pretty familiar screen. When you clicked on, here for getting into the registration, right? There's view registration. You only see that if you created the account, if you created this registration. Now, in your unit, you might have access to your unit's accounts. And what would happen is if you contacted us, and by default, the Scoutmaster, Cubmaster, Crew Advisor, Committee Chair, they all have access to this. But the person who created the registration sees the view registration. Um, the Scoutmaster of Troop 84, which I am not, they would be able to see that there's a registration here, but they can't view it because I'm the one that created it. It's a safety system designed by the company because of the information that could be put in on different types of registration. And that's nothing that we can change. Um, if for some reason you're not seeing your unit and you think you should be, or you don't have access to the roster to input people, which we've talked about in a previous training, then you're not the committee chair, primary unit leader, and one of them would have to email me to authorize you to be added into the unit to be able to have access to the roster. And then you'll see these things. But again, if you didn't create the registration, you wouldn't be able to do anything with it. Now, let's say that person changed. We'll do a little bit of a side training. If, Mark Pistorius here wasn't going to be the person anymore, he could log in, or if you really need us to, we can do it for you, and we can update Mark Pistorius's information. And this is all faked information, by the way. Um, we could go in and change all this, and within 24 hours, it will reflect on Joe Shalbotnick's registration, and he'll be able to access the registration from there. So, if somehow you got tied into somebody that's not there, or the email was set up incorrectly, let us know when we can fix that. So, from here, right, you'll be default into participants, which many of you should see because you have hopefully by now named your scouts. You are no longer in deposit phase or the estimated phase for the unit. If you are, you cannot do merit badge sign up. You cannot have apply payments to any of the scouts. It has to be uh, named scouts that are in here. So we're going to pick on this very first scout, this Rebecca Betha. And we can see just kind of a little description. Regular price for campus $610. There's an early bird discount, $30, which goes away again on 5/15 for Gordon. Amount paid so far, they put down their $50 deposit and they owe $530. If they were given some type of a coupon, they could have applied the code here if need be. To make the edits, to go and do update their information, to sign up for merit badges, this is an update information. So if I click on this, I can see, her information. Again, this is not real information at all. It's just a fake scout. Even t-shirts in here where they can select it. Camp Gorton does a free shirt with registration. And oh, I can't do class sign up because the participant must have at least $305 to choose classes. So I can't even do it. All right. So I back out of here because I can't take care of hers. So I've got this one's done. Let's take a look at see if anybody else has anything different in here. If you had somebody who applied for a campership, just so you know how it's going to look on here, when you're looking at these, and apparently I don't have one in this unit, is right around in here, you're going to see a campership approved, and it has the amount in there. In your unit, if you had somebody who applied for a campership, which was part of registration, it would have said pending. So council program pending in parentheses with the amount that was being requested. Then once the council approved camperships and the dollar amount, the council program pending got turned into council program approved with the correct dollar amount. And those are all in there now. So if you have anybody, they're in there. So I can see that this person's fully paid. That's fine. This person here is just owes $91. So again, 489. I know that they're fine. So we're just going to pick on this person. So we're going to go to update information. We're going to scroll down, and here we have select classes. Oh, look, the classes are now viewable on here. So we're going to go ahead and select on that class. All I did was click the button. Now, I'm just scrolling the screen to make it look a little easier here. So this side of the screen is what you've signed them up for. This side of the screen is what is available right now. So it starts off based on the time period and then alphabetized. So if you're looking for it that way, um, it does provide you kind of the stuff that's in the course catalog. So the title of the course, a description, what days it is, maximum participants, and you can see right here in green, it tells you how many slots are available. Right there, this still says 10 of 10 are available. Um, we'll talk about waitlisting in a moment. Where is the class? That's what the room number means. So this is going to be down in the shooting sports area, and additional periods that it's offered. It's not meaning that you've got to take all those periods. It's saying it's offered period 4, period 7, and period 10. So the repeat classes that are going on. And you'll see that for all of these. And if a class has an additional fee on it, it would tell you that here as well. You can come right here to this drop down if you want to jump periods. Go on this, jump your periods, select the one that you want, and it'll start bringing that right on up so that you're right there. You could also search for a class. Um, Rifle. And there we go. It brought us to the first rifle. And you can see that this one has an age requirement. It's both here as a prerequisite and it tells you that there is a minimum age set up. So that way you see all of this information and it is all reflected in our course catalog. So we're going to back right out and go right to the beginning of this. Right to, whoops, too far to the beginning. Go right here and it not anything registration. So I'm just going to throw classes in here. So we're going to put this kiddo down for archery. And you see it jumped me right to period 4. Well, what? Wait a minute. I just skipped all those periods. Well, no, this particular class runs 9 to 10:30. So this scout can't take anything until starting at 10:30. So it does prevent you from setting up an overlapping class. So if it's overlapping, it won't let you do it. Which is great so that you can't double book classes on somebody. So we can see here, we're just going to sign up for animation. And again, it reflects changes to the next one that's available. We're going to sign up for astronomy, and we've already got an archery. It will let you sign up for a second class of that. Let's see, we will go for citizenship in the world. And let's say, because I don't know what the age of this particular scout is. If it's not the right age, it will, well, let's try it. If it's not the right age, it won't let you do it. Oh, it did. Okay. So she's a good age. You can also see right here on this camp offers during an open area. cowboy cowgirl action shooting. You can buy tickets at camp. You can pre-purchase them ahead of time. Um, this will add on $5 to the registration because that's the fee for taking this class or participating in this program. So some merit badges or programs may have an additional fee, but it'll be there. It does add that onto the registration. So let's add that in because it's outside the schedule. Again, this allows for multiple, but we're only going to do that. So we've got her classes in. So we can come back here, scroll. It's like, okay, great, great, great. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I did this wrong. She did not want citizenship in the world. So all I've got to do is click on citizenship in the world and it came off. That's how easy it is to add and remove classes onto here. So now I'm back here and let's go for communication. There we go. So we were able to add this back and forth. Now, if a class was filled, um, almost all the classes that have a class maximum size to them allow for waitlisting. And it will tell you that there. And what you'll be able to do is select that class and they'll show up over on this side. It'll be a new box in red up in here that says waitlisted class, and you can select another class. Now, what happens from there is at some point, as the camp's director and program director and that camp staff are looking at their schedules and classes, or somebody changes their class, if all of a sudden somebody empties out of that class, the camp director is made aware of it, and they can go in and make the change. They can say, oh, good, I got it. It's not going to just open up that period now because it was closed. It will let the camp director know that, hey, there's a spot that just opened up now. Do you want to move the waitlist person over? And they will move the waitlist person over and it will take them out of the alternate class they signed up for. And the registration contact, so the owner, will get an email telling them that that was done. So that provides a lot of information through there to let you know that it was done and it manages it quite well. Um, so that's always a great thing for these things. Now, when we're done, I'm happy with my schedule. I click on done and I am done. She's in there. Now, as long as there was nothing else, I didn't make a change to registration or add anything else, I'm done. I don't have to go through checkout. You only have to do checkout when you are doing something with a name, like adding a name, changing a name, something like that, or you want to put money down. If you don't, then it will not show up. Um, and then, yeah, I mean, you don't have to do checkout. And we're all done. I could exit out of this and it's saved. And you can see on Emily right here, there's that class fee that now shows up at $5. Now she has a balance of $5 because she added on the class that had a fee. And to answer the question, merit badge classes will only show up when the system goes live on the 15th, correct? Yes. You cannot see them ahead of time until it goes on. Like if you went today, it's just going to be a gray field that says, looks like that one. It looks a lot like that with nothing there. And it may not even show that depending on some settings. You won't see this until the 15th. So now is the time, if you haven't done so already, to be providing the schedules out to your scouts along with copies of the catalogs and having them cover that with their scoutmasters. I strongly encourage, if you are entering the merit badges in for your scouts, to get a first, second, third choice, because I've seen these go on for a few years now and it's a mad dash. I've even done that. And to confirm, when the merit badge moves to the left, the scout is made into the badge. Correct. Once you have them in there, it automatically changed the class count. So yes, as soon as they're there, it's not having to click that done once they're in it. They're in it unless you take them back out. They are now signed into that class. That's all you have to do to do it. It doesn't have to be gotten there. So where is the catalog available to be downloaded? Okay, so if we go to our Great Falls Council webpage, um, and from there, if you were to go to our calendar, events, camping, you will find all of that there. I'm just going to kind of hit this real quick to Scouts BSA Summer Camp and register. I'm going to pick Scout Haven, just it's the first one. So this was the registration page you were on before to register. and there's a list of attachments. So there is a class catalog, leader's guide, which for Scout Haven, the leader's guide includes the merit badge schedule. For Gorton, it is a separate attachment. And then you'll see there's a map, a flyer, sign up process, which is registering for camp, some planning tools, medical forms, and how to use parent portal. So they're right there. It kind of depends on the camp that you're going to for which one you find the access to. Does the merit badge selections automatically save once moved to the left? Meaning if we're registering, there is no saving. So it saves automatically. So I think I just shortened somebody's answer. So I'm going to pick on another scout here. Excuse me. So when I come to this person, select classes, there that archery, that put them into archery. You'll see that the number would be down to 9 now, right? There's 10, it's now down to 9. Now, please don't just you can just don't click on the X from here. Um, Click done. It's a better way to do things, ensures the continuity of the information that's in there. If you just click on an X to get out of it, I make no guarantees. Done is locking it. They are signed up once you put that in there. But if I come here now, there is Emily because it was a 2-period class. She's over on those things. So that shows me what her schedule is, and I can go back to select classes and I can make changes. So once the 15th happens, from there all the way up to, I believe it's roughly 2 weeks prior to any week of camp, you can come in and make changes to the merit badge schedule. So if we signed Emily up for animation, but between now and summer camp, she earned animation merit badge, I can come back in and take her out. So get down to my done. We'll go update Emily again. And Emily has animation. So I go back to select classes and uncheck it. And now she's out of that class. And again, done just to confirm the information. But I do not have to go through checkout to save the information. But please click on the done. The X should do it, but I'm not a big fan of Xing out of a window. I'm a fan of clicking on the done box. It creates a better save issue, less chance of having an error. If you're already signed up for that merit badge, so we'll do this. Select classes. So there's archery right there. It will show me. It will still let me do them all. I can, in theory, here add archery to multiple periods for this scout. So if they wanted to spend their whole day in archery, it will let them do that. And then when a section is full and has a wait list, is it still visible for selection? So yes, if it has the availability of a wait list, it will, right in this section here, it will tell you it's full. And if the class has a wait list, not every class does. There are some classes camp staff has determined do not have a wait list does not have a wait list because there's no way for them to possibly add to it. Then it's not there. You could, if you don't want to see those, you could check the box here to hide full classes. So if you're not interested in dealing with wait lists at all, you could hide it and it'll make them all disappear from the listing. And then that way you don't have to deal with them. In regards to archery, if a scout participated in the badge but didn't qualify last year, can they qualify during open range time? That is going to be a question for the camp directors or program director. I can't answer about how they conduct their camps. So I would encourage you to reach out to either one of the camp directors or program directors to ask that question. I believe so, but don't take my word for it. I'm just the guy behind the scenes with the computer. I have a few AOLs crossing over to the troop in June and going to camp. They have paid for camp. Do we need to cross them over before the 15th to register them for merit badges? No. So no. Here's the interesting thing. So let's go to this. So on this, you'll see where it has this autofill. At any time, you can come in to your own registration and additional actions, add a participant. You will see there is no removal of a participant. And I want to be clear about this because this comes up a few times. You should never, when you're even going from estimated to named participants, you should not overguess. You should only, when you're going to name, you should only put down the number that you know are coming, particularly who put the deposit down. Because if you looked at the information at the checkout screen, you agreed to the financial commitment of those scouts. So if you put 5 scouts, which is here, and let's say right now I only have 4 scouts, and then later on it's like, listen, I'm not going to get the last one. You actually made a financial commitment to that fifth scout because you put them into the system. So don't add scouts if you don't know they're coming. Estimated is fine, but when we go to naming, don't add in adults or youth if you don't know that they're coming. Um, but you can always, up until about 2 weeks out from camp, each week, you can add a participant. So I'm going to do that here real quick. And you'll see on here that there is a new scout, including crossover. And they keep the early bird rates all the way up till, for Gorton, it's when the late fee kicks in. I think it's the same thing for Scout Haven, and then it just goes to the regular rate, no late fees applied. Um, and I'm just going to say one here. Add attendee. Okay. So there, I scroll down right there in a new category. So they're not up with the other youth because these are just regular scouts. These are crossovers. So if you had logged in, um, and you selected your unit, which isn't going to work here because I'm in a demo mode, but when I showed you that earlier, if you had logged in, you will have the option to autofill from your roster. So, really important for a boy and girl troop, you really need to have 2 different registrations, and I'll come back to that. You should have a boy troop and a girl troop registration. Make sure you're selected on the right one for the unit, and then as opposed to you typing it, you could click on this autofill, and you'll see some of these come up, but again, not correct. And you could select on one of these, and they're all in there, but it will fill the name in and all the details. We update this with your My.Scouting roster once a month, and generally it's on the 15th of the month. However, if your AOLs haven't crossed over yet, like they're going to come, you've already talked to them, they're coming, they've given you money. This system's not checking that. Their BSA ID number is going to stay the same. You can manually put in the information by hitting that update information and then just start filling in the stuff. Now, this BSA ID number is hugely important. If you manually entered in your scouts and did not use the login, then please make sure to go in and enter your ID. As a council at the end of summer camp, we will upload all of your advancement for you. You won't have to do a thing. We don't give blue cards out at camp unless specifically requested for them. We will go in and provide and update your scout book accounts, and it'll have it in there. Now, Scoutmasters will still need to go in and do the final approval of a merit badge like they do now. Um, but this is one thing we do. If you're out of council, then if your council uses the Black Pug system and they upload membership, your roster's in there. But I have no control over it. Your roster's in there if your council does it. If your council doesn't do it, then you'll have to do the data entry yourself. You could also, when you create a registration or create a login, you could create a roster that you can just choose from. Same thing out of councils as of today, not this summer, but as of today, I can't upload to your council's scout book account out of council. Um, I might be able to by the time summer comes around. They're talking about some changes as BSA is making changes of their own. But at the very least, at the end of camp, you'll get the email and you'll be able to download an advancement report. You'll be able to download blue cards, and everybody will. You'll all be able to download this. But at the end of camp, once we've uploaded the advancement, everyone will get an email that if you're in council, we've uploaded your advancement. If you're not, you may need to download the advancement report, the blue cards, whatever you want to use, and then put that in at your own unit. So they can register now. You can put them in here now. Just realize none of it's gonna. They can't legitly go unless they're registered in the troop. So you could put it in now. But come time for being at summer camp, if they are not registered in your troop, they will not be allowed to stay. Okay, so that hit us on the importance of the member number on here. Do the first year experience rank advancement items get entered in a scout book? Okay, so as of right now, no. First year programs, Whether it's Thunder Rock or Fire, do not get entered into that. That is one that you would have to download the advancement report. They will give you a sheet. They will give every scout a sheet at camp of what they've accomplished. But as of right now, National doesn't allow that to happen. Um, BSA, Black Pug does. National doesn't let the import work. They will let us do an import on merit badges, adventures for Cub Scouts, and awards. So if a scout earns, say, paddleboarding, we'll be able to import that award for you. As of right now, we cannot do the first year experience programs or Camp Thunder Rock, which is the first year program at Scout Haven. So that one you'll have to take the information and put that in yourself afterwards. The biggest reason is we understand it right now. And when I say we, I mean us. And when I've talked with Black Pug, is realistically, it doesn't matter if we've taught the scout the skill. The scoutmaster is supposed to sign off on knowing that skill. So that's why we haven't seen the update yet. And it's a little unsure if that's coming by this summer or not. There's talk, but no definitive. Okay. Um, so at the end of camp, oh, and you'll see that this person says checkout required. You cannot do anything with this person, merit badges, anything like that, until you've checked them out. And it is going to require that deposit of I think it's $50 for Gordon, to lock them into their spot. And again, then they will show up on Parent Portal that you can generate Parent Portal credentials for them. Um, at the end of camp, well, before the end of camp too, under reports, many of you, depending on the camp, need to have a roster. There is a roster under reports that you can run, unit roster that you can run and do all that. You will also be able to, after merit badge sign up, I mean, you can do it before merit badge sign up, it's just useless, is you can run a class schedule and, which will be a sheet that you can hand to every one of your scouts if this is your schedule. Like, I will tell you, I do this in my troop. After merit badge sign up is done, I give that to all of my scouts saying, this is what I got you into. Here you go. Um, in the summary, there is also a period summary. This is great for your leaders at camp. This is really taking during period one. Here are the different program areas. These kids are in these spots. So you could look at that schedule and find out, if I were to walk to shooting sports, I'm going to find these 3 kids. If I walk to nature, I should find these 4 kids. So it makes it really nice for you to do. There is also prerequisite report by scout. So for all the classes that they're signed into, you can run this. Again, 1 page for scout, depending on how many prereqs they have, and give that to them at the next unit meeting saying, here's your schedule. Here are the prerequisites you've got to get done before summer camp. And there is also the prerequisites by unit so you can see them as a whole. Um, then there's these unit advancement detail summary reports. These are the ones you'll be able to get later on. Please, please, please. This is disabled for us on the council. But if anybody else is using Scout Book, which I hope you are, hopefully you're not using the Scout Book extension that was created by some volunteers. The latest iterations of Scout Book do not support that because of us being able to do a council import of advancement. And you can create syncing errors inside of your own unit. So do not use the Scout Book extension anymore. We don't even enable that feature in our council. Um, but we do enable the Troop Master export. So if you're using Troop Master, we do enable Troop Master export for that. So those are where your reports are. You'll find that there's several reports that are handy. Again, unit roster is always a great one because we always need to hang up unit rosters, turn them in, make sure the information is accurate and correct. So that takes care of our reports that go along with merit badge sign up and merit badge sign up. So any questions, comments, concerns? Kind of give it a minute or two here for chat room. And before we close, we will open up the audio. We just try not to want to get everybody in on top at once there. The first day. Okay, so so if camp opens up classes, that's a great question. Let's actually expand that question. Um, so sometimes camp gets an offering that, hey, I'm going to be up there with my troop. Listen, I'm a welding merit badge instructor. I'm happy to teach welding while I'm up there that week. Oh, great. We add it in the course schedule, and then we will email everybody that's registered and just like you got notified about this, and let you know that a new class at this period is going to show up. Now, what we typically do for best practices is it's not the email is there and then it just turned on. That would be nice, right? We usually will say, okay, this class is coming. It's going to be at this period. Here are some prereqs. It is going to get turned on in like 2 days at 4 o'clock. And then we will add the class in so that everybody has kind of a fair shot at signing up for the class. When they expand sessions, so let's go with the swimming merit badge and or even instructional swim, and it fills up. Depending on the camp, they will do a couple of things. They might expand on the number of people that can attend that because they got new instructors in there, and then we will just expand the offerings, move the waitlist people in first, and then if there's still openings, we will let people know that there's still openings. If they decide that they're going to put a brand new offering of it. So listen, we have instructional swim on period one, but because of the amount of people signing up, we are going to throw another one on period three. Obviously, I'm making all this up. Again, we will tell you the same thing. We are going to turn this on this date at this time. That way, you have an opportunity to fairly have a chance to contact your scout, let them know, see what they want, and then you can remove them from that merit badge to add the next one in. And instructional swim, I mean, even though it's a merit badge sign up, any class you're signing them up for, whether it's an instructional swim, fire, thunder rock, the shooting pro, the bonus shooting programs, those are all just classes to be signed up for under merit badge sign up. So I hope that answers the question on how we try to do that. We really try hard to not surprise you that something got opened all of a sudden and not giving you an ample a chance to contact people and get it in there. We really do try to give a couple days notice before we're going to turn something on. The scouts opt to be waitlisted and don't end up getting into a badge. So, okay. So waitlists. This is why I say you should always get first, second, and third choice. Um, you can have a scout that is waitlisted on period two and no other class. You didn't select an alternate. And could you do that? Absolutely. As far as opportunities to select something else, yeah, at any time until merit badge sign up shuts off, which is generally 2 weeks prior to the week that you're going, you can go in anytime and change your schedule. I strongly encourage that, if you're putting it in for your scouts, that you have a first, second, third choice, and that way you can put it in and they are into a merit badge. You don't have to worry about another class they might like being filled up by the time you do it. I would strongly encourage that you have that alternate class ready to go that you can put it in then. Because again, when a waitlist, if it opens up, we will take care of the move and take them out of the other class and notify you. If you wait and just go, okay, I'm really going to try for this class and be waitlisted and not put anything else in, you do run the risk of at camp. Generally, when you get to camp and there's still an open spot on that kid, that you can still do a class sign up, at check-in time. And they will be able to take care of it then and get something up. But I would strongly not wait till that very last part there. Let's see here. My true boat mail. Okay, so that's a great question. So what the question is obviously we take online payments. You can also mail a check to the council office. You can also use unit account money if you have any at the council office. So clicking pay by mail, which is how you do a check or unit account, you are not credited with the payment until it's actually been recorded at the office. So we try to be very quick with it, within a few days of it showing up to the office, no later than a week. Obviously, we ramp up checking on these things during as we get closer to some of these deadlines, like early birds, merit badges, late fee changes. But I wouldn't wait to the very last minute to do it. It still requires that somebody has gone in and credited the payment in this system for it to take it. System doesn't know a check showed up in the mail until it's actually been put in the system, and you will know by if you look at your participants. You'll see that there. There's also a summary screen, which tells you how many people and what the balance due is. So you can always check that at any time. So if let's say Thursday mailed us put a check in the mail on Thursday, and Friday you didn't see it in there. Yeah, probably not with the mail. Hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday. you would see it in there. And if not, then you'll contact the office to see what's going on. And yes, payments can be made at any of our offices. So we have the Buffalo office, the Oakfield office, and the Elmira office. And you can contact those two. If you have money in your unit account, you could contact the authorized users of that account can contact them to say, we want to spend this much in there. Now, the one thing I will say with this, is if you're mailing us a check, and I am so going back to this to pick on. So you can see I have kids who owe different amounts here. And right now my balance due is almost $2,000. If you mailed in a check for $1,000, tell us who the money's going to, how much to who, because we don't know. Because what'll happen, and I'm sure everyone on here has seen this, when you came out of your deposit phase and went to your naming, which had the bunk fees, um, right up here near the top, there was this thing that said you had unallocated credit. That was your deposit to be divvied out how you chose it got divided out to people. Well, if you mail us a check for $1,000 and don't tell us who it's going to, we are going to make unallocated credit on your unit. There'll be a new box that says you've got $1,000 unallocated credit, and you have to allocate it. Nobody is even if it nobody is considered paid unless it was there. So if out of that thousand it was meant to pay her off entirely and some on other people, great. But you have to tell us that, or maybe it was just divided out evenly unless you're paying in full. If you are paying in full, we will take care of the allocation on there. But if it's not a full payment, you need to let us know who it is, or you will need to go in and allocate that to make sure people don't hit their late fees or have enough money in there for merit badge sign up. So to clarify, scouts can sign up for a second choice and waitlist in the same period. Absolutely. That's how it's designed to work. So again, if and I wish it created a waitlist example. This is their demo mode, but it didn't. If it had a wait list going on here, we would see another box that had wait list. It'll tell you the period. It's going to be in red. And then down here is going to be the actual class. So yes, you can sign up for the class that's full, and it's going to warn you this is a full class and you're being waitlisted. So there's no mistaking that you waitlisted. And it will let you sign up for a class in that period. So it's there. It does not move until we physically do it. So the camp director, program director, or myself will physically go in and do it and make the choice happen. Um, if, if you had a class that's waitlisted and um, Tommy Tenderfoot decides he no longer wants that waitlisted class, please go in and remove it, because if an opening happens, we automatically do it. We do not check with you first. So if Tommy really wanted communication and not where he was waitlisted for orienteering, and orienteering open, we're automatically moving orienteering in and kicking him out of communication. And you just get an email that's done. And that could be an upset Tommy. So if you know that Tommy no longer wants to be considered for orienteering, come in the system, take him out. Again, you just, like we did here, just click on the box, it takes him out of it. And then that way there's no chance that that'll happen, because we really do our best to try to fulfill wait lists. We will never promise or guarantee we get to them all, but we really try to do our best to give every scout classes that they want. Um, I can speak for Gorton has done an incredible job of managing their wait lists. I think they handle at least 80% of those on average. Um, but I wasn't here. We weren't using the system last year for Scout Haven, so I don't know. So if you're going to Scout Haven, I just don't know. Gorton was generally around an 80% success rate for getting them in. If nobody has any questions, then again, thank you for coming. This presentation will be ready in just a few days. It will get posted onto our council website, just to show you where. If you're here on our council website, you've hopefully gone and checked this area out with the GFC scouting. And under unit support, you'll see an area that says webinars. So if we click on there, we list some of our past webinars that have the links to the videos right in there. We will also be emailing that out to everybody that's registered for camp. So it's not just going to the primary person, it goes to everybody, just similar to this email did. That's why we ask for those alternate emails as optional on all the attendees, so that we can send out messages. So this video should be ready in just a couple days. We'll have that out. We will post it to the water cooler. And if you're here going, well, what's the water cooler? Well, the water cooler is the internal Facebook group of the Great Falls Council. We post a lot of information up there to keep our units informed of things that are going on, activities, changes, um, bragging about what one unit did versus, not versus another because it's not that kind of competition, but what units are doing. And we love to have those kind of the information posted up there. So if you are not subscribed to the water cooler, then I would recommend that as soon as you get off of this, get right onto your Facebook account, search for the water cooler of the Great Falls Council, and request to join. There are three questions that are on there. One's, are you a member of the council? If you're not, why do you want to join? And the third one is, do you promise to follow the Scout Oath and Law on this? So I'm sure that's not a problem for anybody here, but I would encourage doing that as well. So again, my name is Mark McGrain. I'm the Assistant Council Commissioner for Technology. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us tonight. I hope you found this productive. I've been very thrilled by the questions that have been coming in, and some of them have actually been new to me. Uh, Not new that I don't know. I mean, just new questions that people haven't asked before. I've done a few of these trainings, so this has been great. Uh, and again, I'm here until the last person signs off. So even if you didn't want to ask in front of somebody, I'll be here until the last person signs off, and you're welcome to ask anytime you want. Feel free to take yourself off mute.